Welcome to the Make It a Better Day podcast. I'm Alex, and today I'm joined by my co-host Victoria to talk about something that affects literally every aspect of our lives, money.
That's right. Today we're diving into Unlock Your Financial Freedom, the power of learning and earning. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited because this is a topic that's transformed my own life in ways I never expected.
Same here. You know, growing up, money was always this mysterious thing that some people seem to have figured out while the rest of us just struggled. But the article we're discussing today completely flips that narrative on its head.
It really does. And it all centers around this quote from Robert Kiyosaki: "Financial freedom is available to those who learn about it and work for it." When I first read that years ago, something clicked for me. It was like, wait, this isn't about luck or being born into the right family?
Exactly. It's this radical idea that financial freedom is a skill you can master, not some exclusive club you need to be invited to. I love how the article breaks it down into that simple formula: knowledge plus consistent action equals freedom.
And that formula works. Though I have to admit, I was that person who used to roll my eyes whenever someone suggested reading financial books. I was like, sure, like reading a book is going to magically put money in my account.
Oh my gosh, I was exactly the same. I thought budgeting was just code for no fun allowed. But then I gradually realized that understanding money actually gives you more freedom, not less. It's like learning the rules of a game you've been playing blindfolded.
That's such a good analogy. And speaking of learning the game, those examples of Sara Blakely and Chris Gardner in the article really drive home what's possible when you combine knowledge with action.
Sara Blakely's story completely blows my mind. She was selling fax machines door to door, fax machines, before she created Spanx. Can you imagine if she'd just said, well, I don't know anything about the hosiery industry, so I guess this idea isn't for me?
Right. Instead, she jumped in and learned everything she could about an industry she knew nothing about. And that $5,000 investment turned into $1 billion company. But you know, the Chris Gardner story hits me even harder.
Oh man, same here. The fact that he was literally homeless with his son while he was learning about the stock market, it just demolishes any excuse I might make about not having the right circumstances to improve my financial situation.
Absolutely. And it reminds me of something that happened to me last year. I had this unexpected car repair that cost $800, and for the first time in my life, I actually had an emergency fund to cover it. It wasn't this catastrophic event like it would have been before. That feeling of I can handle this was incredible.
That's huge, and it's exactly what financial freedom is about. Not necessarily being rich, but having options and security. Speaking of which, what did you think about the 7-step blueprint in the article?
I found it really practical. Like, financial education boot camp sounds intimidating, but 30 minutes a day? I can do that during my morning coffee. I actually started listening to that Planet Money podcast they mentioned while walking my dog, and I'm learning so much without it feeling like work.
I've been doing something similar with audiobooks during my commute, but I think the most powerful step for me was setting those smart money goals. There's something about writing, save $5,000 in 12 months by cutting $420 in monthly expenses that feels so much more doable than just save more money.
Totally. And have you tried any of the automation tools they mentioned? That's been my secret weapon. I set up an automatic transfer of $100 to savings every payday. And honestly, I adapted to living without that $100 in like 2 weeks.
That's the beauty of automation. You don't have to rely on willpower. I'm actually really intrigued by that suggestion to diversify income streams. The article mentioned platforms like Upwork and Etsy. Have you ever tried anything like that?
I have. Last year, I started tutoring online 2 evenings a week. It's not making me rich, but that extra $400 a month goes straight into investments. The crazy thing is, it doesn't even feel like work because I'm teaching something I'm genuinely interested in. What about you?
I've been selling some of my photography prints online. Started as a hobby, but now it's bringing in a little side income. You know what's interesting though? Beyond the money, it's changed how I see myself. I'm not just someone with a day job anymore. I'm also a photographer who makes money from my art.
That's such an important point. There's this psychological benefit that comes with knowing you can generate income in different ways. It's like financial self-efficacy, the belief that you have some control over your financial situation.
Exactly. And I think that ties into that financial fire drill challenge in the article. The exercise where you simulate losing your primary income and map out a 30-day emergency plan.
Oh man, just thinking about that makes my stomach clench a little. but I can see how valuable it would be. It's like a fire drill in a building. You don't wait until there's an actual fire to figure out where the exits are.
Perfect analogy. And honestly, I think a lot of people accidentally did a version of this during the pandemic when jobs suddenly disappeared. The difference is doing it intentionally, before a crisis, so you're making decisions from a place of strategy rather than panic.
That's so true. And it connects back to Kiyosaki's quote, "The learning about it part prepares you so you can effectively work for it when challenges come up." Financial education isn't just about growing wealth, it's also about building resilience.
I love that perspective. You know what else stood out to me? The article emphasized tailoring these principles to your specific life stage. The strategies for a recent graduate are going to look different than for someone nearing retirement, and that's okay.
Such an important point. I think we sometimes get discouraged when we compare our financial journey to others without considering those differences. The goal isn't to follow someone else's blueprint exactly. It's to apply these principles in a way that makes sense for your unique situation.
Absolutely. And that leads perfectly into the closing message of the article. The pen is in your hand, ready to write your success story. It's both empowering and challenging at the same time.
It really is, and I think that's why I love this topic so much. It's ultimately about taking ownership of your financial story. Whether you're dealing with debt, building wealth, or somewhere in between, you have more power than you might realize.
Well said. We hope today's discussion has sparked some ideas for your own financial journey. Remember Kiyosaki's words, financial freedom is available to those who learn about it and work for it. What step will you take today to move closer to your financial goals?
If you enjoyed this conversation and want to dive deeper, you can find the full article on our website at Make It a Better Day. While you're there, check out our Redbubble store, where you'll find products with empowering messages that can serve as daily reminders of your goals.
Thanks for joining us on the Make It a Better Day podcast. Until next time, remember that your financial freedom journey starts with a single step, and there's no better time to take it than today.
See you next time.